Hello, Joe from Joe K Models here. Well, I've got all the decals on now, as you can see. A lot of them I painted on, like the roundels and everything, if you remember from last time. So, all those are on. I also finished the chipping across the entire airplane. Here's what's left of the decal sheet, and you can see that I didn't even use a lot of these. So that's one benefit to painting them on yourself. As far as the chipping goes, I'm pretty happy with the way that this came out. Most of the chipping I focused over here on this area where the pilot might be walking to get in. Did get one or two comments to where maybe they felt that it was a little bit overdone, which I can definitely see the point to that. I do agree that it could be interpreted that way. But this is pretty much the way that I envisioned it, so I am pretty happy with the way that it came out. And yep, I just finished the decals. I used microset and microsol on those. I'm about to wipe off with a just some warm water on a damp cloth. Wipe all of that off just in case there's any residue, and then put another gloss coat over the airplane. And most of the decals that I did, you had these two big ones right here, but then most of them were just like the smaller stencils. So those weren't too big of a deal. I did mention that some of the decals were damaged. You can see right here, like that one was kind of damaged. As far as the ones that I actually used, it wasn't anything too bad. The only one that kind of does stick out here is at the back of this 182, some of the ink seems to have smeared. So I think the way that I'm going to deal with that is I just got some of these in the mail, so these weathering pencils, and there's an aluminum in there, so I'm going to try and maybe put a little bit of weathering over here to kind of help that out, because over here, it's looking all right. So that's how I'm going to try and rectify that situation. And then here's what the bottom turned out to be. Again, some stencils, nothing too much. There's not a lot going on with that on this, so that's where we're at with that. So yeah, I'm gonna wipe this off with some water. Then I'm gonna put another gloss coat to seal in the decals. I'm not even sure I want to do a panel wash on this. The way that the silver is on here through the panel lines and everything, I'm not really even sure that it needs it. I don't know what you guys would think. If you want to put your suggestion in the comments below. I think it looks okay like this, but I'm kind of on the fence about that. So if you want to put in your 2 cents, go ahead. And yeah, so we're pretty much ready to get going with that. Going to also do a little bit of detail painting on the back wheel here, and then the front of the tube here also needs to be painted, and I think we're pretty much good with that. The next thing is going to be getting the engine all set. So I've already painted this silver. I'm going to be putting a black wash on that, and then I just have to paint the cowling. So that'll be painted silver and then chipped in a similar fashion to how I did the airplane. And since I'm going to have this on a stand and I want it to look like it's flying rather than putting on the propeller, what I did was I used some Milliput to fill the front here, and I'm just going to sand this smooth, and then just put this right on the front, and hopefully give a little bit of a looker to show that, hey, this propeller is not in a stationary position. So I'm going to go down that route, I believe. And so yeah, that's where we're at right now. I wanted to give an update, and I'll talk to you guys soon on the next vlog. This is Joe from Joe K Models.